Hey, it's Kage, and I wanted to do another update to my Zero to Hero SSF journey. It's definitely a smooth ride now, as I left on the spoiler of the first video that I got a Foulborn Mage Blood from the tree, which is insane. And you don't get many opportunities to do a SSF Mage Blood build, so yeah, I'm using it. It's gonna make Ubers a joke. I could probably even kill him now, although I just have to farm shards. But uh, update to the build. So main items, we now have Indigon. I just got that today. I was about to make an update video without it, but we got it. Damage feels great. Crusader slammed one of my synaptic rings. Need another orb here. I just slammed a Shaper Exalt because I had an extra one, got move speed, so that's pretty nice. Wand and shield are the same. I'm not sure if this chest was upgraded before, but still rocking a solid chest from the tree at tier 2 flat and increased, but it's still a good amount of ES I'm getting from it. Boots, the only thing I changed here is I got a Storm Shroud from the tree as well. So I have full elemental ailment immunity, and I changed the Frozen Craft to Energy Shield. I tried to change the move speed, and then it hit the chill again, so I'm not gonna bother with that right now. Flask, doing LE resist, avoid shock for Storm Shroud, avoid stun, and regen. I need to get more enkindling orbs to work on my increased effects here. I did get a +1 tornado, dance in the white. I am gonna kind of be using that just because everyone knows it's kind of glitch slash bug, but it's a fun one. Because of that, I did drop Wall of Force because, as you can see, the projectiles are not really going past the 2 tornadoes. So Wall of Force really isn't going to be doing too much. As for the tree, I did get a split personality, and I started crafting jewels via the tree. I will show that then. Uh, Taking a bunch of reservation efficiency so that I could add flesh and stone for some more DR. I don't think I changed much with the pathing except for I went down this way because of split personality. I dropped these ES nodes and these ES nodes. I was doing a Jade Flask with the evasion mastery here for evasion per int. I did drop that because Quicksilver feels better. I think that's pretty much everything for the current gear of the character. As for like the future plans, right now I am farming Delirium to get more split personalities. I am currently up to 9 simulacrums. I'm gonna run those. Breach, I want to get an Unnatural Instinct because this spot is giga for it. You get all these AoE and mana nodes. And I want to get a better +1 tornado because this one isn't the best, but it's something. I need to get 217 fragments. I got some here. I could do an Uber trauma if I wanted, but until I hit 100, I have no interest in doing Ubers yet. I do want to go for the all bloodline instead of breach. Mostly like when I get Grace of the Goddess, the Esh of the Storm loses a lot of value because I'm going to be doing Trinity damage instead of just lightning. And then I can definitely drop sockets to clear my boots and just be slow immune, which is great. I'm also farming Eater Influence right now to try and get a melding because that would free up a flask slot. I can still make use of these synaptic rings of giving me plus lightning res to hit 19% lightning resist and then have 90 cold and fire as well, because right now I am 85, 85, 89. I am thinking about mainly to get a simplex, because like I said, I'm going to be using the synaptics to max out my lightning resist. So I could do helicals, but for now the synaptics are working just fine. I did get an awakened vicious projectile, so I don't need to worry about awakened gems. I think that's pretty much everything right now that I'm working towards. Like I said, I was gonna show off the tree here of how I've been trying to farm jewels. So going for increased jewel chance and amulet, because both of them want the same thing of attributes. Increased attributes, reduced resist, reduced speed, and reduced fire. I looked on Crafted Exile and those were like the best reduced ones. I then just kept the sockets, quality, and fracture because leftover points. The tree over here, I am focusing for a unnatural instinct, and specifically not a foulborn one. So I am doing cleansed of impurity. I did already land a where is it? Storm Shroud. That was not foulborn, because I did have a foulborn Storm Shroud as well. That in here might be in the unique stash. Yeah, I got this one, which increased effective shock instead of my shock immune or elemental immune. The other thing I did want to mention is I did also get the Watcher's Eye that I wanted of 10% max mana, and it gave me Purity Lightning shifting as well. So that's not needed, but I was already planning on using Purity or Lightning, so that's additional pen protection from fire and cold, or for fire and cold. I did also get a Cinder Swallow with the Malediction and recover mana. That has been really nice. And I think that is pretty much everything. As you can see, I'm at 15.5k ES on the dot, which just feels nice. 10.78k mana, 4k unreserved. I was at 5k unreserved, and then I added Flesh and Stone, which that is just nice. I also swapped to doing Sniper's Mark because POB showed that was higher damage, and especially with enhanced support. I'm also self-casting Arcane Cloak now. Once you get Indigon, you want to self-cast Arcane Cloak, because this thing ramps your mana quickly, and it feels horrible if you have it on automation while mapping. I honestly only use Arcane Cloak now, like if I'm trying to burst down a boss. Speaking of which, I am gonna just grab a map here, or no, I have a 217 planned. So let's just do this. I don't feel like doing the deli tree that I have. And yep, that should be fine. So I did drop some things here: attack speed and frenzy charges. With Indigon, attack speed is more of a hindrance than a benefit. I am gonna loot later after the video, just so that I don't have to waste time doing that. But yeah, attack speed can be a hindrance, because as you sit and spam attack, your mana cost is gonna ramp, and that's just gonna cause your mana cost to ramp higher. Oh yeah, other thing, I am now doing a large cluster with the Skilling Idea Storm Drinker, so I could drop Ghost Reaver. And because of that, I can now make use of the Vol Discipline that I've had in. So that is my O ship button. Especially without evasion, you can see porcupines do kind of chunk a bit. I'll probably add in evasion when I get to drop a flask. So you can see I can pop Arcane Cloak. Damage is pretty good. The survivability is not quite phase tankable yet. But as you can see, T17 done, less than 90 seconds. So I'm not doing too many of these T17s right now because my goal is to get experience. And T17s can definitely be rippy, especially Abomination, which is one of the main ones I'm farming because I want the reality fragments for Maven to get Grace of the Goddess. But that's pretty much all I got. I might just leave like me clearing the rest of this tier 17. I kind of wanted to do like where I was talking through while doing it instead of just throwing on a clip at the end. But the build's feeling great. This is definitely like a high enough tier character for Raid. This is really good for SSF, I feel like. I am also as of right now, the highest energy shield Hierophant on SSF, which that's just kind of fun to have. Like, hey, I'm actually rank 1 for something on Ascendancy, like not a specific build, because like I was the only one doing an Ivory Tower Wintertide earlier in the league. I haven't checked since to see if anyone else picked that up, because that was a pretty fun build doing Ivory Tower with the Foulborn Rapith and Wintertide brand. But this is a very cozy map right now. A lot of investment into it. Indigon made a huge difference in the damage. It is literally like a 4 or 5 times damage multiplier, especially because Kinetic Blast gets a 200% increased. But I'm going to be farming it up. A lot of the upgrades now are kind of like min ones. Another thing that I'm like kind of doing, it's very half-assed, is trying to create a Shaper Wand. The game plan there is doing the lightning damage per int modifier. So I'm just trying not to die to all the porcupines. Lightning damage per int, and then getting, of course, tier 1 mana with that. The goal is to recom it together. Quick harvest check. So lightning damage per int, recom into tier 1 mana, lock the prefixes, and then do a Veiled Chaos or Veiled Exalt to try and get a Veiled prefix. Hopefully go for like spell damage and chaos, I would say, is kind of like the plan. I haven't really thought it out too much. Do a lock prefix, reforge crit to try and get crit chance, or I just wipe the suffixes and craft crit chance with the Dexent and crit multi. But that is pretty much all I got for this video. We'll see how this character goes. Like I said, the goal is not really just Ubers anymore. I kind of want to see how far I can get in Delve. I have never really gone far in Delve before, and this is definitely the build to do it in. So that's all I got for now. If you're interested, please let me know. Or I should say, if you're enjoying these, let me know, because I am kind of making these for me just to show off builds later, especially this one. This will probably be a memorable build for me for a while. But that's all I got for now. I'll catch you next time.